So, King-Ohger episode 22, Great Gathering of the Shugods. Now, this episode is basically set up for next week's episode, as in this episode we get the reveal/revelation that the castle can actually transform, which is going to lead into next week's episode where we're actually going to see it transform. And I feel like this episode could have been spaced out a little bit better with everything going on, because I felt like half of the episode was Gira and the gang trying to hold back the forces, but not only that, they're also trying to figure out how to activate the castle while everything is going on. I felt like the start of the episode had a really great setup where it showed how despair and how dire the situation was as Daigorg was able to swallow the other Shugods, and he started growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and because he's called One-Shot Daigorg, he's going to take out the country within one hit by dawn. So he just keeps getting bigger and bigger, where our heroes need to figure out a solution with everything going on. And with everything going on, they need the Shugods to figure out what exactly is going on as well. They sort of need to come to their own as well, as they need to put their trust in Gira, as he's now the new king. So with the Shugods being swallowed by Daigorg, the mech was too scared to attack it because they're friends, so they didn't want to hurt their friends. So Gira being able to understand it, the mech gets blown and blasted away, so most of them are just sitting on top of the castle. But then you've got this conflict of interest as well, where Yanma says, hey, they've got their souls. Without their souls, they can just be rebuilt because they're just exoskeletons, they're mechs. Mechs are AI. AI can evolve, we can just rebuild them and they can be better, which is a conflict he has with Gira, where Gira views all the Shugods as his friends. So you sort of have that bump of heads in this episode. So Yanma proves that he's sort of like the second in command with everything going on, and with last week's episode where he wants to sort of have control of the Shugods, I'm guessing he wants to sort of keep them under repair so that way Gira doesn't have to have all that responsibility with everything going on. But learning that the castle is a mech in this episode, something we've known about for a while within the fandom if you follow the leaks, the reveal in this episode was just kind of like, oh yeah, it transforms. No big sudden reveal, they just ran into Suzumi, who was sobbing in the castle over, I want to say, Raculus's coffin. We don't know who's in there, but if you've watched the Secret of Raculus special, whatever it's called, I'm guessing it's that character that's in there, because according to the wiki, that character's first appearance will be on the TV show for next week. So looks like I've got to watch The Secret of Raculus to understand who this character is and the important role that they could be playing in next week's episode. So we've got that. So Suzumi just blurts out saying, oh yeah, me and Raculus spent a lot of time in bed. And I love the reveal here with the flashback where she makes it seem like, oh yeah, when they were sleeping together, they would sort of trade all kinds of secrets in bed. But really the joke was set up really well, where she just set up a mattress in front of the throne room and she's like, oh, I'm so sick. Please tell me something that will lift my mood. Do you know any secrets about the kingdom? And Raculus is like, oh yeah, the castle transforms, but you have to be royal blood to use it. And she's like, oh, I'm good and better now. And then she just pretends to go back to sleep. I freaking love the Dabowski family with just their bullshit antics that they pull on people. I just freaking love it. And it runs in the family after meeting the sister. Like, you get a comedic moment where they're lifting up the coffin and she's not taking that seriously. She's like, 1, 2, Raculus, which is kind of funny because she gets told that it's disrespectful, but she just keeps doing it. So she never loved Raculus. I just love the banter and bullshit that comes out of this character's mouth. But when that coffin was on the floor, oh boy, did that green screen in that coffin just start wobbling like crazy. With the special effects. But yeah, that's the reveal of the castle. It's just like, hey, it transforms. Hey, we're going to figure it out in this episode. But Gira can't figure it out in this episode. And then he gives a big speech to God Kabuto. And God Kabuto eventually comes to his senses to help everyone else and along with help all the other gods as well. and then they do that big blast on the Monster of the Week, which was a cool Monster of the Week because he was called the Shugod Hunter or something like that. So I doubt they're not going to be back if they got blasted to bits and pieces, but they were hunting the other Shugods so that way they can feed him to Daigorg and he can eat their souls and keep getting bigger. Unless I missed something, because there was a line before he was introduced saying that, or they're being hunted so they can have their souls eaten as well, so I must have mixed that up. I don't think they did get their souls eaten. I know it's like the main three, well the main four including Tarantula, I believe, they got eaten as well, so that's why they weren't able to form Extreme King-Ohger. And I do like the sort of like the handicaps they put on King-Ohger with how powerful it keeps getting throughout the series run. Like the first time they got blasted to bits and pieces and they had to reform again and gather them all up again after they first form the one of the Shugods, and then after we got Extreme King-Ohger, that was meant to be really powerful as well, and now that got blasted back, so they have to form that again. So I'm wondering what's going to happen after this mech formation gets formed, where it's actually able to combine with the castle. So I'm wondering what handicap they're going to give this next transformation when they fight the next big bad boss that's going to push them back. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen, because there's a couple more formations that go, I think. I know there's the 20-piece formation, that's going to be everything, unless that's the castle one coming up. But if there's a combination after this, which if I'm wrong, correct me down below, you guys always do, and it's always much appreciated. If I'm wrong, if there's a combination after this, I wonder like what big bad is going to set them back to make them form the next big combination. So yeah, that was King-Ohger episode 22. Overall, it was a pretty alright episode, like I said, setting up for the castle mech that we're going to get next week, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that castle in action, because we saw like the leak ages ago, like back at the start of the year, I believe, and now we've seen the magazine scans, now we're going to see it in action, and can't wait to see the giant clusterfuck of the combination that it's going to form together with King-Ohger. The biggest meme is like the suit actor is going to have like a sore back from carrying everything on him with all the attachments. So we've got that going on. But yeah, I feel like this was a great Gira episode, because once again, Gira is learning how to be king. He's sort of going to be knighted in the next episode, as he's going to be made officially a king, but this is where Gira is having his chance to shine and show what it takes to be a king. He still does his "I'm an evil king, ha ha ha" thing, but I feel like whenever he does that, that's sort of like his coping mechanism when he's put under pressure, when he doesn't want to admit a defeat. He just says, "I'm an evil king, this is my way of doing it." So I feel like that's his sort of personality trait with how he deals with things under stress, because you've kind of seen him do it before when he was questioned about Raculus and he wanted to fight Raculus again. This was like at the start of the series, and he started doing the laugh again, saying, "I'm an evil king, I'll take care of Raculus myself," even though he was scared when that name was brought up. So that was King-Ohger episode 22. What did you guys think of this episode? Love it? Hate it? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day or night, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Like I said in my Gates review, there'll be a King-Ohger review next week, but there'll be no Gates review next week, because Gates is on a break, but King-Ohger isn't. So stay tuned for that King-Ohger review, because it will probably come out first when my Gates reviews usually drop around that time. So stay tuned for that. So with that said, I'm out of here. Peace out. Take care. Bye.